Hi, everybody. I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right. This one's called Joseph, Where Are You? Yes, this story is about Joseph. Joseph was an employee of mine that was an excellent employee. He was an excellent worker. Matter of fact, he was up for the supervisor's position, you know. But I don't know what happened with that though. But he was up for the supervisor position. Joey would Joseph would be there an hour ahead of time for his job, and he would work until and he would stay over too. It was no problem with him, which was kind of good. But one day, one day, Joseph he wouldn't leave for some reason. It was time for us to get off, and Joseph was still trying to do paperwork and stuff. And I told him, I said, "Look, Joseph, it's time to go. Let's go. It's time to go home, man. We've been in here long enough. It's time to go." So Joseph said, "Wait, okay, when I finish this, then I'll leave." So I left. I was the last one out off my shift to leave, and Joseph was still there. The next day, when I got to work, Joseph was there already. So I said, "Man, Joseph, you love this place, don't you?" And Joseph said, "Well, man, hey, what can I say? What can I say?" Yeah. So later on that day, I was I was just walking around the place, and I went into the locker room, and Joseph was laying on one of the benches. So I said, "Joseph, are you on lunch or something?" He said, Nah. I was just a little tired, a little bit." I said, "Hey, get on up. Get up. Come on now. You can't do that. You slacking a little bit now." So Joseph got up. He said, I was getting up anyway. I was getting up anyway. I said, "Well, get on up. Get on up." So he got up and resumed working. Then later on that night, we was about to get off work, and all the people on my shift were preparing to leave. So everybody was leaving. I was saying bye. So it was my job to make sure that everybody was gone, would go. So I started looking around for Joseph, and I couldn't find him. So I walked upstairs. I went upstairs, went to the other area, looking around and everything. Then I said, man, where's this guy at?" And I was calling him on the radio, "Joseph, Joseph, Joseph, come in." He wouldn't answer. So I went down to the basement to the locker room, and there he was, laid on the bench again. So I said, "Joseph, wake up, man." He woke up. What? I said, "It's time to go home, man. Don't you get sleep at home?" And he said, "Nah, not really. I really, I was down here all night last night and stuff." I said, "Man, you need to go home." So Joseph got up, came up there, and we started walking outside. So I said, "Joseph, what?" And he didn't have a car. So I asked him, I said, hey, where you live at, man? He said, oh, I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to go. I called my cousin supposed to come pick me up. I said, all right, man. So then the next day, Joseph was working. He was walking around everywhere. So then later on that night, when it was almost time to go. Now I was going to make sure he left out the building. So I'm walking around. This is 10 minutes before we got off. I was looking for him. I called him on the radio. He wouldn't answer. Wouldn't answer. Wouldn't answer. Wouldn't answer. So finally, I went straight back to the locker room again. And he wasn't laying on the same bench. He was laying on a bench way off to the back. And I said, Joseph, get up. I said, man, talk to me, man. What is going on? He said, no, ain't nothing going on. I said, no, something's got to be going on. Because I caught you sleeping again. So Joseph said, oh, man. And it was cold outside, too. It was cold. So I said, Joseph, look, what's up? Talk to me. Tell me what is up. So we walked outside. And everything. He had a little jacket on. And I said, man, what is wrong? What is wrong? Then he finally said, well, I don't have a home to go to. And I said, you serious? He said, yeah, I don't have a home to go to. I said, well, when are you going to get your place? Get your place. He said, well, I'm supposed to get a place in 2 days. So I said, oh my goodness, man. Why didn't you tell me, man? He said, man, I didn't want to tell nobody. I said, well, look, I'm going to try to get you a room here, okay? So I got him a room, and I said, go in there, take your shower, and just relax. Just go to sleep. So he went up in the room and did that. Now, after that, the next day, I said, now look, I'm going to do this again tonight. But after that, I can't do it no longer. Oh, no. Okay. So after that, the next night, I got him in the room. But then I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't do it no more. So after that, I said, Joseph, you got your place to go? He said, yeah, I got it. I got some place to go. I said, all right, okay. Man, don't do that again, man. Just let me know sometime like that. And I couldn't find him again. Yeah, I couldn't find him again. And he wasn't in the locker room. So, man, I was searching around because I didn't want the next shift to start in on him. So I was walking up, and then on like the 11th floor, he was in one of the closets on the 11th floor. So I said, Joseph, what are you doing? You really trying to get fired, aren't you? He said, no. I was looking for something. I said, you in the closet laid down. You not looking for nothing. Come on, get on out. Come on, let's go. So I walked him outside. Then, of course, I was off for the next 2 days. When I came back, Joseph was looking ragged, like, Like I said, man, I don't know what to do. And it was cold outside. So I said, I'm gonna have to talk to somebody to maybe they can get him a room or something like that. So I went to the other managers and talked to them, and they didn't have no sympathy for him. It was no sympathy. You know, they told, hey, you can go to a shelter or something. So after that, well, they finally got rid of him. You know, they got rid of him. And he was living on the streets, living on the streets, and all the other homeless people knew him. So I said, man. So he didn't come back, and they told me they got rid of him because he was hiding under a table, one of these tables with a big tablecloth on it. He was under there asleep, so they got rid of him. So, man, that was terrible. And I don't think he ever got a job again. It was terrible. Like, man, look, if y'all know somebody that's trying to find a place to live or a place to stay, just try to help them as much as possible. I know some of them you can't help. you know some of them don't want to be in their own place or nothing like that. Some of them don't want to be in their own places, but some of them sincerely do. you know so if you can help out as much as you can, help out as much as you can. Maybe give them a couple of bucks, give them some food or something like that. But Joseph didn't want anything. I guess he had too much pride or something like that. But I don't even know the whole circumstances why he was homeless. Maybe he was mean to his mother or something. Or maybe he burnt all of his bridges. But I don't know. Anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share, share, share. Share my videos with your family. Share my videos with your friends. Share my videos with your loved ones. And even share it with your enemies. Adios. Salamat.
Salamit. I feel sorry for him.